Hello everyone, it's Lottie from Cancer as a Lifestyle. Today I wanted to talk about traveling and cancer. So years ago, I think I went like twice on vacation when I was going through treatment, and I would not advise anyone to do that. Although I know it's easier said than done. We want to go visit family or spend some time with our children when, especially when we're going through our treatment. We don't want to miss any of that. So we think that we're able to physically handle it. Well, twice I thought I could handle it, and I ended up being sick each time. So I would not advise anyone that is going through treatment to be going anywhere. One time I think I was in the middle of my treatment, and I ended up driving with my girlfriend out to Missouri to visit my son. And I think we hit every rest area along the way because basically I shouldn't have been going. I was sick and we needed to stop, and that ride took forever. And the other time was right after I finished radiation, and I went on a retreat with my church on a women's group for I think it was like a 4-day trip. I always wanted to go to St. Louis. I wanted to go to this retreat, and and I just did not want to miss it. Here I just been a week after radiation, and I thought I was fine, and I was able to eat whatever I wanted. But then on the last day, when we got home from the convention center, when we got home, I think I had some chicken noodle soup, and I ended up being sick the entire night. So you see, it's not a good thing to go. We should just always wait. But hey, we can't. We want to we want to see our family. We want to see our grandchildren. One of my friends also went during her treatment to spend time with her grandchildren, and she was sick the entire time too. So, but hey. But this time around, when I was going on vacation with my brother, I was really concerned about a few things. And it's not just because I was going there. Now when I go on vacation, I go through a checklist of things. Now, I do not take any kind of medication. I am very blessed in that. I don't need any prescriptions with me or anything. The things I do take when it comes to medicines is I take a pain reliever for my arthritis. That's over the counter. In case my arthritis acts up, usually when you on a train, or it just bothers me a lot, long distance crampness and all. So I took that with me. I made sure that another thing I took with me was my anti-diarrhea pills. I have mentioned this before. Since my radiation, it does affect me from time to time. I have problems with certain foods, or not even certain foods. Something will set it off, and then I am in trouble for several days. So it just comes and goes. My radiation doctor, warned me about that, and from time to time it does happen. So I carry that with me, just in case. Now I also take my vitamins with me. Now this was an 8-day trip, so I took 8 days worth of vitamins. I ended up taking baggies because I'm not going to take the whole vitamin with me. So I made these little baggies for one baggie per day. So I had all my vitamins in there. It actually was very small. It didn't take up a lot of room. And I knew that, this baggie is for today, another baggie for tomorrow. So that's what I did. Now, we also have, I don't know, I carry this with me all the time. I have never ever had to show this. But my friend that had breast cancer a few years back carries it around with her everywhere she goes. She goes a lot of trips on planes. Now I don't. I haven't been on a plane in years, and I really don't want to go on a plane anytime soon. But she carries around her card for her port. Now, if you have a port, you were given one of these. And this is basically, it has all the information down on there for when you had a port, what is this, kind of explains everything on here, because you see I have a port in here. So now every time, for instance, when I go for CT scans or any kind of scanning and all, they always ask me, hey, what is this thing right here? So I'm always telling them, hey, this is my port, So my girlfriend, of course, since she goes on airplanes a lot, she's always worried about the scanner's going off when she goes through that. So she carries it with her in case she sets off the, what do you call them? The scanners when you go through. And but of course, I'm sure that's never happened. I've never had to whip this card out and use it, but they do give it to us if we need to. So I carry it around in my wallet. It's just like another credit card. It doesn't affect anything, but I take it with me just in case. So another thing I would suggest is to make sure that you, if you have, make sure you bring all your IDs, of course. Make sure you bring all your insurance cards and prescription cards and all of that with you, any dental, anything. Bring all of that with you. If you pay for your own insurance, make sure that you are up to date, that all your bills are paid up on time, so then you don't have any problems with it if you miss the payment. And also what I do is I check, since I knew where I was going, I knew where I was going to stay, I went online and I checked the hotels and Amtrak's menu as to what kind of food they would be serving. And I did that for a reason, because I wanted to see, prepare myself to make sure that there are healthier choices to my meals. Like I said, my colon acts up sometimes and I have problems. So there are times that certain food triggers. I don't eat fried foods. I don't eat foods with preservatives, or I don't eat anything out of can. I'm just like really particular. Okay, I am very careful. So I check the menu to make sure, hey, let me see what I need to, what am I going to be eating? Are there any choices available? Because if they're not, then I'm going to have to do something else, because there's no way that I can eat that. So I check the menus. I check the, let's see what kind of restaurants are around there, so I know where to go. Another thing I'm always concerned about is where am I going to have, since all I drink really is coffee in the morning, and I drink a lot of tea, and I drink a lot of water. So whenever I go on trips and all, like on this Amtrak and all, I was a little concerned, where am I going to have enough water intake? Am I going to have enough fluids? It's very important for me that I flush out whatever I need out of my system. I've always been hydrated. So one of the things was we ended up, because, I was afraid of that, I decided that when I would go out, when I would go eat, I would request a glass of water and I would request a tea. And that would keep me hydrated. And also in the rooms itself, they were actually, because we had a cabin, they were also giving us water. It was available to us as much as we wanted. So that was not a problem. Now when we actually got to our destination, we just went and picked up a case of water and we kept it in our rental car. And because my brother and I both like to have our water and be hydrated, especially when you go up in the mountains, you really need it. So these are just some of the things that I check when I go. I make sure that, that I have things with me that I need, So I'm sure that things will change when you are going, but, for whatever, you want to make sure you're up to date on your prescriptions. My girlfriend, for instance, that I was talking about, she is also diabetic, so she has to take all her needles and shots and things like that. So she has her own little kit that she has ready. So that's just about some of the things that I do in preparation. If you have any extra ideas that I have not mentioned, put it down in the comments below. I'd like to know what else you have. Now, a girlfriend of mine also suggested that money was something that she did not handle when it was actual paper money. When she was going through a treatment, for instance, because it carries a lot of germs and all. So if that is something that you are concerned about, especially when you're traveling, you're going to need cash, then maybe it'd be better to get a credit card and use your items on credit card instead. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, click a like on it, and comment below if you have any other suggestion or what do you do when you go traveling with your chronic illness or cancer. What different things that you have to make sure that you take with you or check up on. So thank you so much for watching. Have a blessed day, everyone.